Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the card of the month. I know I've been a little bit absent over the last few months. We've had a few things going on. Life does that. Um, but I felt drawn to do it this morning. So, right now, we are in between Lammas and we are experiencing the Lion's Gate. We are feeling that opening. I have no doubt that most of you, if not all of you, are feeling this this knowing that something is wrong, knowing that there is something not quite clicking into place. I'm talking to a lot of people who are very tired, they're exhausted, the stress, they feel like they're constricted, they feel like they're being pushed in. They can see now, they're starting to see that we are sovereign beings and we have been enslaved for a long, long time. And people are starting to see that now. They're starting to see what governments are. They're starting to see what councils are. They're starting to see that they do not need to be ruled by somebody. We can self-govern. We know what is right and wrong. And the people who are in charge are doing a lot of very abhorrent, disgusting, vile things towards people, you, human beings, your tribe, and you are feeling that. You're feeling that disconnection. You're feeling it. And of course, that's going to bring lots and lots of different energies with it, lots of thoughts, feelings, and actions that are going to sort of make you feel uncomfortable. But what you're seeing has to be seen so that you can enlighten, so that you can awaken, so that you can elevate. And remember, what you see is what's leaving. They can't hold on to that anymore, which is why they're throwing lots of horrible things at people now. They're sort of trying to get us all arguing and trying to get us all to believe things that don't exist and things like that. And we're seeing true history as well. We know that history was rewritten a few hundred years ago. We know that the pharmaceutical companies are awful, vile people. We know that people are starting to come back to the natural, what was always right. So, yes, that is going to cause a lot of friction, a lot of conflict, a lot of uncomfortability, and I can feel it. I've been feeling it for months. I know, actually, that's lying. I've been feeling it for years. Um, but it's really over the last 2 years, I'd say it's really started to really kick in. As soon as, the feminine kicked in a few years ago, and then you had all that nonsense 5 years ago, that was the test to see just where the human beings are, where the population is. Sadly, a lot of people were still on old programs, but now you're starting to raise your energy. You're starting to see the new programs. So they're all coming in. So I have felt compelled, as I say, to offer you a one-card reading. So I know that the people who find this at the right time for you, it will be the right time for you. You may not see me straight away. You may see me in a few days, a few weeks, in a month's time before I change it again, in time for Mabon. But, trust that the message you see and hear is right for you. And sometimes it can be uncomfortable. Sometimes it triggers you. Sometimes, do you know why? Because it's breaking the spell. It's breaking the program. It's making you step out of your comfort zone and really think. And that's why people are getting triggered. That's why people are saying to me, oh, Paula, don't be stupid. Okay. Okay. That's your energy. That's your old program. Right. Ah, so apt. Okay. So the card for this August for Lammas and for the Lionsgate is to let go. Oh, I've been seeing this card and variations of it over and over again. People are holding on to old programs, of course you do. It's the comfort zone. People want to stay in comfort zone. Why wouldn't you? It's what you know, it's what you've trusted, but you've begun to believe and realize that what you've trusted, what you've believed in, what you've seen, what you've heard, nothing is true. Everything that the media does is a lie. Everything the governments talk about is a lie. Everything that has been done to you for years is a lie. Schools are a lie. They're indoctrination. They are to teach obedience and ritual, nothing else. Everything you see is a spell. Everything is, words are power. So you can counteract that by the words you use. And the strongest words you can use: no. No, I am not in that program anymore. I do not have to follow your spell anymore. I release you. I let go. I let you go. And then work through the emotions that come with that. The first one will be fear, doubt, the possibilities, the what ifs. And then you may start to resume back and start going back into old programs. But then you'll start to come out of them again, because you've got that knowledge, you've got that frequency of awakening, you've already seen it, so you can't go back all the way. It's like when I talk with clients with grief and they feel like they're going all the way and then they feel like they're going backwards. You can't go all the way backwards, because you have that knowledge, you have that knowing. It's already there, so that awakening, so you know you're not going to go all the way back. You may go back a few steps because you need that comfort, you need that knowing, but then you'll move forward again, and then you may come back a little bit again, but you won't go all the way back, because you've awoke, you're healing, you're moving forward. And that's what's important. That's what I'm hearing here is always move forward, stop looking back. There is nothing you can do about the past. What was done 5 years ago is done. You know, those of you who fell into that program, we're sorry that you did that. But those of us who have been awake for a long time, we're here. Ask us questions, elevate yourself, find the groups, find the right-minded people. And once you start opening that up, you will draw those people to you, all those beautiful higher frequency people, instead of staying in a low energy, a low program that is not working anymore. And they know it. They can't hold on to it anymore. The feminine energy is coming in. It's time to start releasing all the masculine, all the hard, all the heavy. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that men are hard and heavy, but when we have a masculine and feminine energy, masculine is all, it can go two ways. It can go very supportive, strong, working with the feminine. It can sort of do lots of beautiful things. Our masculine energy is our solar plexus. It's where you hold all your feelings. It's where you hold your emotion, just above your belly button. You know, just a lot of men have stomach ulcers and stomach problems. If you're having stomach problems, it means that your masculine energy is out of alignment. Okay, but I digress. But the masculine energy, if it's not cared for, if it's not looked after, then it goes very dark. It goes where the governments and all the councils and all the people who assume they're in power, all the police, all that kind of thing, they're all under a masculine, deep, dark spell. Okay, and masculine becomes destructive. It becomes war. It becomes greed. It becomes abuse. It becomes dominance. You know, it becomes having anything that you can, you know, and sod everybody else. That's masculine. That's the dark side of masculine. Whereas, you know, feminine is the healing. It's the mother. It's the coming in and nurturing. It's the looking after. You know, that kind of thing. And that's all been coming in now for the last few years, because we're trying to heal what's been allowed to happen for centuries. You know, men have been putting us into war for how many centuries? You know, it's the men who have been doing that. The women haven't done that. You know, the women have been influenced by men. Of course they have. But they know that there are better ways to deal with it. You know, I'm always of the opinion that if you want a war, get the two men who actually want the war, put them in a room and see who comes out. And there you go. Why send millions of thousands of people into a war that is of someone else's greed, which is someone else's, you know, idea that they want something from the other country. They want something, you know. So I don't take sides. I think they're both as bad as each other. I think all countries who go to war and all countries who destroy and who take over, and it's all about dominance. It's got nothing to do with life. It's got nothing to do with anything else other than they want something from those people, from that country, and that's it. So they're all as bad as each other. So it's about letting go of that, releasing that anger, releasing that frustration. And I know how hard that is. That can be really, really difficult. But when you do that, I'm hearing them say to me that when you can release that, and believe me, it's not easy. I'm going through something at the moment that is making me quite angry and stressful, and I'm looking at this company, this business, who are behaving in such an abhorrent manner, and I'm thinking, how can you do that? How can you do that morally? How can you be ethical? And I'm having to deal with that, but I'm having to release that. So this is also for me. This is about letting go of it. Just letting go of the negative, letting go of the judgment, letting go of taking it personally as well, you know? It's about just releasing it. Say hello to a stranger if you feel comfortable. You know, start a conversation. Be kind. Kindness spreads. Do something kind for somebody. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be like holding the door open for them. Or you know, if you can see someone struggling with their shopping, you've got a free hand, pick one up. Hey, where's your car? You know? Anything, you know, just ask someone how their day is. You could be the first person who has asked them that. Remember this. We are all of the same tribe. We are all human beings. It's about time we started to behave that way, don't you think? And started looking after each other. And stop people from doing horrible, nasty things to women and children and things like that. Stop doing it. Just stop. If you can't stop, then it's going to have to be dealt with in a, you know, and you're gone. You know, in the tribal times, if you did something horrible to the tribe, you were banished. You were sent away or you were killed. So off you go. You know, you have to sort of, whatever it is that's making you behave that way, you've got to just know, learn to respect, to love the world. You have to leave people alone who don't want to be bothered, you know? Live a beautiful life. Okay, so what they're saying to me is live your best life. Live your best life. And harm none. That is the only law in this world. Harm none. And if everyone did that, what a beautiful place this would be. We wouldn't need corrupt governments. We wouldn't need corrupt councils. We wouldn't need corrupt police. We wouldn't need them. Well, we don't need them, actually. Harm none. Live your best life. Yeah. And allow that love to come in. You know, I'm really kind of feeling that energy of, and they're saying this to me as well, Paul, you've got to release that frustration that you're feeling. You've got to just let it go. It doesn't help anybody. And they're right, it doesn't help me. So that's what I'm going to say to you. Release. Let go. And live your best life. Because it's right there. It's right there. You just have to take it. Enjoy it. Spread the love. Spread the joy. Spread the kindness. Okay. All right. So that's the message for Lammas, Lionsgate, for those of you who find this. And I trust that those who do, yeah, it will be just what you need. So with lots of love, lots of joy, lots of kindness, lots of letting go, I'll see you again.